Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we'll be reviewing the Ford Escape Hybrid. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Tim Daly Ford here in Spanish Fork for giving me some time with this Escape. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Powering this is a 2.5 liter hybrid 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid to be exact. Puts out 192 horsepower. It has an MPGe rating of 101. 40 is the MPG rating without any sort of hybrid assist, and it can go 37 miles on a charge. Now before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood, really cool coloration on this one, if I do say so myself. And then popping down below, I like the headlight design. You can notice that illuminates too above the grille. Kind of darker coloration for the grille. You got fog lights there at the bottom as well. There's the front. Tire and wheel setup is 255 by 60 by 18. You got the silver mixed with the blacked out trim. Chunky fender flares. You can see the chunky body work there on the side too. All of the chrome trim around the windows. And there's your side profile. Now taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function. We got our remote start opening for the rear hatch, also Ford logo on the back. But taking a look at the cargo area, it is quite spacious here in the back, and got a spare tire underneath as well. But yeah, really cool setup. When you're all done, just press that, and that will lower the hatch right back down. You can see the Escape swoopy taillights. You get your plug-in hybrid badge there at the bottom too, and it's the rest of the rear. Now popping inside, we've got soft touch here at the bottom, and then here are the seats perforated on the exterior part of the seat, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, legroom, decent. We got some vents here in the back, and then the headroom back here is actually really good. This leads us up front, where we've got some soft touch at the very top, down below with the stitching, all of our window controls here, get your mirror adjustments, memory seat functionality, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. It's cool perforated at the top of the seat, nice trim. Overall, got your power adjustments on the side, by the way. And you can see with the light controls there, steering wheel, manually adjustable, and then there's more soft touch on the dash. Taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got soft touch all around. Power controls in the front, including for the center, phone controls, voice command, volume controls, cruise control as well. Traditional stocks on the back. Now with the gauge cluster itself, it is fully digital. It's pretty customizable in terms of the information that you can display. And I like how you've got the, let's go back to the trip energy. I like how you have the electric economy that you can also display as well. We've got a nice 360 camera system, trajectory lines turn with the steering wheel. And then we've got heated seats, heated steering wheel, we've got your climate controls, dual zone climate. With this this new infotainment system, it's the same that's in the new Bronco Sport. It's quick to respond. It's overall, I think, a pretty nice unit, but definitely has that tablet plopped on appearance. And then also, heads-up display. Engine stop start down below, and then you can see here shortcuts for like the drive modes, for example, which should pop up here. It takes a second to load up, of course. But yeah, you've got all of those physical controls there. Little charging area, dial shifter here. You've got your parking brake and your auto hold. Some more cup holders. Nice trim in the center console. Got storage with that. I like the kind of like dash design. Sunglass holder, which is nice, and then panoramic sunroof. So here's one sticker. You can see this is front wheel drive, by the way. 46,515 is the total MSRP on the hybrid. Let's see how it performs. Well, let us set off. And we'll just start off right with one big thing. I think that this would do a lot better against the RAV4 Prime if it was all-wheel drive. And I know that yes, with good tires, front-wheel drive is fine, but it's all about optics in today's world. It's all about optics. And so the optic of having all-wheel drive does well. Now I will say very smooth. Very, very smooth. Let's pull that up a little bit. Independent suspension. Pretty comfortable overall though. Like the whirring sound, it's fun. Engine's on. Feels as though it's got pretty decent shove right off the bat. I mean, the four-cylinder is pretty rowdy in terms of the sound, but it seems pretty smooth. I mean, we'll see when we cross the road here. Yeah, you definitely, I mean, that's not bad actually though. Not bad at all. We'll try this road this time. Last time I went down that way, but we're gonna try down here and see what this goes to. I'm guessing it just goes to these warehouses, but and you know what, these warehouses have to be like some sort of cookie cutter design, because I'm seeing them pop up all over the place. They all look the same. Interesting. Yeah. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, folks. Yeah, the seats are comfortable in this. Oh, this is perfect. I'll use this as a driving ride. I like this. It's simple. Yeah, this is, I would say this doesn't feel nearly as powerful as the RAV4 Prime, of course, because that's got over 300 horsepower. But it seems like it drives just as well for the most part. So I guess it'll get us into summing things up with this. It's really hard to compete with Toyota on the hybrid front. Toyota has a 20+ year advantage on everyone. So they've had a chance to really dial in. And the thing is, if you actually look at Toyota's hybrid tech, they haven't changed as much as you might think. But the thing is, perfecting a system isn't necessarily about making big changes. It's about little tweaks over time. And so Toyota has tweaked things little by little over time to make it so their systems are reliable, fuel efficient. I mean, this has the fuel efficiency, reliability, right? I don't know about that. I'm not saying it's not reliable, but it's untested, I would say. And then the power, right? That's the other thing that Toyota has a big advantage on, like I said, is the power. And then all-wheel drive. If they gave this more power and all-wheel drive, that would help out quite a bit. But still, I do like plug-in hybrids. I do like the utility of, hey, I can go 30 miles without using any gas. And then if I go on a road trip, I can still, man, this GoPro. If I go on a road trip, I can still fill up with gas. So it's like you get the best of both worlds. Which I'd say you can't complain about that.